US President Donald Trump says an announcement about reopening of the Strait of Hormuz could be made as soon as today. Iran is denying that they're talking with the US instead. Iran appears to be closing in on a deal with Oman for commercial shipping to pass through the waterway. This was, of course, not the first time we've heard of this one. Tehran, though, says any deal would not automatically reopen the straits. For the oil companies, they are warning of dwindling energy supplies. On Tuesday, it was Saudi Aramco said that by its estimates, the world has lost around 2.5 billion barrels of oil since the war began. And that could take 18 months to replenish. To make matters more difficult, energy infrastructure in the Middle East has been hurt badly by the fighting. Crescent Petroleum's chief executive, Majid Jafar, said in June that direct damage had exceeded 60 billion. And he told US leaders that all in all, the industry was losing more than $1 billion a day. Majid Jafar is the CEO of Crescent Petroleum. He's with me now. Good to see you, Majid. Thank you very much. The situation we've got is very strong profits, in a sense, from some oil companies because they're booking the money at a much higher cost of oil. But of course, for those on the other side of it, with infrastructure, with difficulties, bearing the losses or the difficulties of the costs.
Yeah, and there's also been a lot of money made of trading because of the volatility, extreme volatility. We've been on a roller coaster with oil price. But in terms of the economic harm, it's really hitting Asia. This is an Asian economic crisis in many ways. I know the price of the pump matters in the US, but whether it's Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia announcing work from home, cutting flights, the cost of food from the impact on fertilizers. There are estimates of $1.5 to $2 trillion of global GDP impact from this war. And in our own region, we grew at 5% last year. It's more like 1% this year, with many countries in the region having double digits decline in GDP. So the impact's significant, and it could be even worse if this goes on.
Right, but for Crescent, where are you actually seeing the problems at the moment?
So we had a very turbulent time during the peak of the war earlier in the year. 5 times we had to reduce or even cease production because of risks. Luckily, thankfully, we weren't actually attacked in our facilities in places like Iraq, although we were before the war by drones. And even our group operations in Egypt, very recently there was an attack near Damiata, which is not far away. So the turbulence is very much still around. And I think the move that we're seeing across our region and our industry is from efficiency towards resilience. And resilience means diversifying your customers, your suppliers, and the infrastructure of your entire supply chain. And I think that new normal is where we're heading.
And at the end of the day, getting the product out. Now, the Strait, I mean, there are a few ships going through, but there's nothing like there was before. The alternatives are few and far between. So what are you doing? Yeah,
so a lot of our gas supply is to local power stations for the local economy and power, places like Iraq, millions of people with affordable gas for power. And then there are some exports that are taking place over road. The UAE has a pipeline that goes to the East Coast, and of course the East-West pipeline in Saudi, although even the Bab al-Mandab is now being affected. But other countries like Kuwait, Qatar, Iraq have fewer options, and those options are going to take a while. So the impact of the Strait, I think, hasn't been fully felt. We've had buffers of strategic petroleum reserves, which, as you reported, now are at a 40-year low in the US, and US increasing its supply while China suppressed its demand. Those have all gone now. So if this continues, I expect that the optimism we're seeing in the market might be short-lived again, as it has been 4 times before this year, and we could have significantly higher prices and inflationary impacts for the rest of the year.
Now, you just said something incredibly important, because you beautifully dissected the reasons why we have not seen, as you say, increased US supply, constrained Chinese demand, drawdowns on the strategic petroleum reserves. Is there a view that this can carry on, if not ad infinitum, at least for the foreseeable future, without serious repercussions? Because that's what the market seems to be saying.
Yeah, I mean, the market sees hope with the latest headline, but then soon after, the physical reality kicks in, as we've seen repeatedly. And also, the U.S. administration has continually signaled that a deal is around the corner, as it has again today, as you've just reported. But the reality is we are now in the 6th month of this crisis with no end in sight. And if it continues, I fear it will really start to bite. Some of these take a while to kick in. For example, food prices. You know, the fertilizer impact changed planting this season, which is going to affect food prices next year. And billions of people, some of the most vulnerable people on our planet, are going to feel that, as well as GDP growth in the engines of the global economy, which are, of course, Asia and Africa is going to be feeling it as well. So I totally agree with you. The outlook is concerning if this continues, as it has done now for over 5 months.
I'm grateful for your time tonight. Thank you for joining us from London. Good to see you, sir.